Yura the Bloody Finger Hunter is already a stylish character, but what if we gave him some new drip and Dragon Cult incantations? Well, let's explore that by facing challenges in the arena and seeing how this build contends in the lands between. But, like the video and give it to me bite-sized. So for our drip, we of course have the Iron Casser, which is a mandatory piece of equipment for any samurai build. In addition, we have the Raging Wolf Armor, the Malformed Dragon Gauntlets, and the Scaled Greaves, providing us with some seriously fresh drip alongside great defensive stats. But our style doesn't end there, as we'll be dual wielding the Nagakiba with the Cross Naginata, which will give us a very interesting aesthetic and playstyle. The Nagakiba has the weapon art Unsheath, which will perform a horizontal or vertical strike towards enemies, giving us even more style. Then we have the Cross Naginata equipped with Stormcaller, an attack that stirs up a storm that stunlocks enemies for damage and moves us forward with a gust of wind, capable of knocking back foes. Both of our weapons are infused with lightning, and our Gravel Stone Seal would increase the damage of our Dragon Cult incantations by 15%. Our talismans are nothing new. We've got the Shard of Alexander, which will boost our weapon art damage by 15%, the Bull Ghost Talisman, which will boost our poise by 25%, the Millicent's Prophetics, which will provide us with 5 extra dexterity and the boost to our consecutive attacks, and the Green Turtle Talisman, which will boost our stamina recovery speed by 17.7%. Then for our incantations, we have Lightning Strike, which will create a row of lightning bolts, and Horned Bolt is a single lightning strike. Both of these can chain cast with similar animations, which can be used to deceive our enemies. Placidusax's Ruin is a stylish attack which unleashes laser beams towards our enemies after a quick and damaging initial explosion. The attack's animation will leave you exposed for a very long time, so I like to use it either at a distance where the enemy is too far away to get close to me, or right next to the enemy where I can nuke them with the explosion. But be careful, as the explosion can miss or not deal enough damage to properly finish off the enemy. For our stats, we have 60 Vigor and 40 Endurance, which is pretty standard. Then we have 18 Strength and 40 Dexterity, which is both a requirement of our weapons and lightning scaling. 36 Faith is enough to cast our 3 incantations, and we can throw the remainder into our mind for a total of 12. This is based on a level 138 Vagabond, with all equipment upgraded 1 level below the maximum, which will avoid you having to use a rare Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone. But I'll also include the level 125 stats in case you wanted to operate at a lower level. So by dual wielding these weapons, we can use the Nagakiba for quick slashes which have fantastic distance, as well as timing and unsheath to deal a deadly strike. But the Cross Naginata has a pretty good offhand attack, which has range and an interesting moveset to catch enemies just outside of their own attack range. The speed on the Cross Naginata isn't the quickest, so two-hand the weapon to take advantage of its full moveset alongside the Stormcaller, which can be used to shred enemies who like to play close and personal. The weapon art even leaves a breeze after its full use, which can lock back impatient players. Then we have the Honed Bolt, which we can chain into Lightning Strike to deal some early damage on our enemies. If your opponent takes a hefty amount of punishment from these ranged attacks, they will often play aggressive, allowing you to catch them in Stormcaller. Then we have the Placidusax Ruin, which can catch enemies with its laser beam at long range, and the direction can be slightly controlled with the movement key. The initial explosion comes out very quickly, allowing you to finish off an enemy with low health, but it will leave you exposed for any attack during the animation, so be careful. With both ranged and close quarter options, we will counter many types of builds, but be careful of fist use as you can quickly stagger and dodge your attacks while dealing some punishment. Also, greatsword users can just hyper armor through most of our attacks, meaning that trading isn't a good option and using your speed and range would be advisable, including the Dragon Cult incantations. It's also worth noting that the Placidusax Ruin will not benefit from the Gravelstone Seal. But something I really like about this build is how interchangeable the weapon arts are. You can throw in Piercing Fang, Storm Assault, Raptors of the Mist, Spinning Slash, Sword Dance, you name it, to mix up your style while maintaining the samurai aesthetic or interesting. Furthermore, you could expand on the lightning theme by investing in more faith to access other Dragon Cult incantations, providing you with more options, colours and flashy attacks to overwhelm your enemies. Let me know your thoughts on the build and of course subscribe. This is Bite Sized Otaku and I hope you enjoyed.